Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Scrap Squad Sunday, and I'm actually recording this on Sunday. I usually record it ahead of time, but a little behind in things these days, all over the place. Um, this is the weekly sketch, or weekly scrap lift. There are some NSD scrap lifts that I intend to do, but that's not what this isn't from that event. This one has this photo cluster, lots of papers, one banner, um, kind of in the middle of the page, and then there's some texture paste, mixed media, and some stitching. So let's see what we're gonna do instead. Um, I have this stencil. This is my cluster. I haven't put it together yet, but that's kind of just the stack of what I'm going to use. And so I'm using puppy dog themed papers, not, for any particular reason other than I like the colors. And I picked this background not because it goes with any of those colors, but because it's an unusual texture of paper. I'm not sure where it came from, but it's in my stash that's stored by color. And it's got a white background. It's thicker than most paper, and it's kind of not exactly shiny, but there's a little bit of a sheen, and there's a little bit of variation in the color, so it almost looks like mixed media. So with this cluster here, I'm thinking that the stenciling, anyway, the reason I thought this paper would hold up to stenciling. And so I'm going to do it about right there, and these will show over that. Then I'm going to go over, and that's of course going to be fake stitching on those circles. I'm going to do this as thin a coat as I possibly can. I have to really spread that out. Just as I'm saying I'm going to do a thin coat, I get a big old glop. This stencil is from Scrap-A-Sketch, and I don't know if there are any left in the shop, but when she came out with this, which may have been in the Dottie About Flair days, when she came out with this, I knew I had to have it because you can use the paws for kitty cat pages or puppy dog pages. Still trying to fill in. this one is stubborn. Okay, some more down here, and it takes a little bit longer when you're trying to do it thinly. And I'm trying to fill them all, I'm not trying to, let's see, and it's picking up a little bit of blue color from the stencil itself, and I like that. I actually like that. That is not a problem for me. Okay, that's going to be under the photo anyway, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, that's kind of cute. And I'm going to do another one up here, kind of at a little bit different angle, and maybe I will put a bunch of paste and then spread it out. That might work better than using a little bit at a time, and it certainly will go faster. So yeah, that doesn't seem to be a problem. If it warps, if this causes it to warp, then my bad. And also it'll flatten out as soon as I put it in an album. But I need to be very, very careful, we all do, about putting mixed media pages in albums before they are completely, absolutely dry. Because for the hard way, I've learned that can be an issue. Okay, I'm going to put this down someplace where I can get to it later and wash it off. And now I'm going to go through and add a few details, let's say, to the and those are going to show. Okay, there, and there's one, and there's one. Stitching it all over the place, and then I do that. I didn't want to cover any of these little thread bunches with the stencil, so that's why I decided to do it afterwards, and I can do parts that the stencil doesn't touch. And I need to do an extra line of stitching around here. I did that on the big one, but not this one. And now I'm going to do some more here, and I'm going to do it right there by the paw print, here and there. Okay, I think we're done. I'm going to put the texture paste away, but it's not far. If I decide that those aren't filled out enough, I can always come back and stencil in some more. Okay, so I'm just going to start laying paper down. I'm not going to put foam between the layers until I get to the banner, and I will let's see, is that right? I think that's good. Okay, and then I guess the next bit is this one. And I will tell you in a minute what collections these are. There's Bow Wow by Photoplay and Bark, I think, by Echo Park. Yeah, Bark by Alicia Gordon for Echo Park. And those are, and I may have bits and pieces of animal papers from other older collections. I know there's a Fancy Pants one in there somewhere, but I don't have much of that left, and I'm not using any on this page. So there. I think I'll do this on here. And put that. I've got to look at the original. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put it a little bit over to the left of center. I'm going to do it like that. Left of center, and then the photo will go a little right of center, and I have these pieces that are meant to go kind of out from the side there, but I don't want to cover up the puppy dog images there, although they don't really show that much. So I'm just going to attach them to here, and see. I don't think it was enough to go all the way across, but it actually might have been. I'm just going to put a thin strip right there, and then same thing here, so they will actually overlap, and that one's maybe sticking out a little bit more, but I'm not going to worry about it. Geez. Okay. And here, I need to put this there. And I have this, which can go right there. And I know on the original it doesn't stick up above the banner, but I kind of like it that way. And I'm gonna just put a small piece down here at the bottom. Okay, and I think that's it for papers and mixed media. Now I'm going to pull stickers. Okay, so my title is going to be Bow Wow. And I'm going to put the title here, maybe. Here? Or do I want it here? Because I could do this cute little guy. Right there. I kind of like that. And if I do this down here, I can use foam to kind of even up the, gosh, where did it go? Right, to even things up. But I kind of want it up on the main part too. So we'll do it that way. And I want it lifted up from the photo. And then it'll also need to be lifted up several layers here. And I'll have to figure out what that's going to be. Let me get a bit of tape right here to put on the very end. Oh, need to peel this off. I kind of like that, you know, there are some blues and some greens in all of these papers, and none of them is exactly the same bluish green, but I kind of think it looks okay. It kind of looks nice. I kind of like it that way. Let me put it that way. Okay, I think this is gonna hit. Yes. Okay, now we're gonna do this. Go off into there, and then I can embellish here with something fun like the little I'm going to put that right there, and then I hope I can find something to go right there next to it. Oh, how about number 1 doggy? If I did that. Okay, and that fit there. That's cute. Okay, and I'm going to put a dog by the fire hydrant, or by the sign here. Okay, there we go. And that's there. I should have put this on foam. Can I still? Nope. And it's not necessary anyway. Okay, so I always have overlapping hearts. So here I'm going to pull this heart, and let me see if I can find a different kind of heart from a different collection, and that's a different color. So I'm going to take this red heart and I'm going to overlap this blue one on it, and I'm going to put the hearts here by the title. I like surrounding the title with embellishments to draw attention to it. So this is, I've actually made this into a little title cluster here. Okay, there. And the texture paste is drying, so that's working out just fine. I'm gonna add a couple more. I'm gonna see if I had a dog facing that way that I could put over here or here. Here I could do, if all else fails, snuggle with your puppy. Aw, I like that. And believe me, everyone in this house has snuggled with that puppy when when things weren't necessarily going well. Okay, here, and if I did it like this, this kind of gives it sort of a horizontal line across there, which differs from the design, but I don't hate it. I think I'm going to do that. I don't hate it. And I'll add an embellishment around there, and I'm going to add some puppy paws all around the page. Okay, so I'm going to put this here in line with the bow wow. Kind of like so. And then let's see if I can find a bone. Here we go. Here's a bone and a chew toy that I can place kind of right here that gets us all the way to the end of the page. And so I'm going to go to the end of the page over here too. I'm going to add another puppy right here, and then a couple of balls, tennis balls. Oh, and a chew ball. I'm actually going to move this over a little bit. And I'm going to put the chew toy there and that right there. Kind of building a little cluster there. Now I'm going to find, oh, here, I have to do this and put that right there. That is so cute. I'm going to pop it up on a little bit of foam. Did I touch the camera there and move it? I might have. And my laptop is kind of overstaying its welcome. Let's get the backing off of this and get that right there. And on one of these are a bunch of little paw prints. There. Here we go. And I'm going to do one there, and these are cute right here. I'll put those right there. And I'll have to put some up high on the top. These brown ones are about the only ones I have left. So I'm going to just put it right there, kind of in conjunction with the heart. And I'd probably like this if there were a few more puppy paws there, and kind of just a little bit right there, and a few more kind of crossing the lines here. So let's pull out the stencil again and open up the, let's see if I can do like a couple there and a, we'll see what that looks like if I do those two. And here I'm going to have to kind of pick the stuff and put it on there carefully. Okay. Don't want to touch that. Now, here, these are going to go different direction if I do it that way. Don't want that. Okay, so if I did this and just did that outer row of paws, like, I messed up there. But it still looks okay, I think. I'm going to add a couple more down here. Don't want to overlap that. I tell you what, I won't add them down there. Come on. Add them right there. Okay. And not perfect, but neither are puppy paws. Neither are real puppy paws. I'm going to put one more down here. Okay. I'm done. Let's see. I love it. I really do. Let me see if there's anything else on here that I desperately need to use. I do know that there was a heart that is filled with hearts that have puppy paws on them. So I kind of like that. Let's see. I could stack a couple more dogs across here, and that would kind of complete that look. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the sausage dog here because I wanted it to stretch all the way across, and I didn't have room for it and this dog, or this one. If I put it there, I don't know, it wasn't going to come out right. So I did this, and I kind of like that, and there's nothing else on here. I like the furry friend, kind of, I like that. Let me use that because that's in a kind of a bright green, and I love that color, and I've used the green elsewhere in a couple places, so I think this would bring it up to the top, and I would like that. So I want to use some foam behind it, and Not sure why I pulled that other stuff from the middle, but what the heck. Okay. And I can use it as part of this cluster up here. There we go. All right, I'm done. I thank you for watching. And this photo of Reese is just, she's showing off her brand new haircut. she had her beard and ears and eye fringes trimmed, just trimmed with scissors, and then she got not exactly shaved, but cut back pretty far there. And when she loses when she has all of her hair, she looks like a little fat dog, but you kind of, your brain tells you, well, that's just, you know, her hair. And when the hair all goes, you can see that she really is a fat little dog. And I don't say that to body shame her, but she's a little chunk of dog. She's short, and she must think that her extra weight gives her the right to attack and bark and cause problems with other dogs at the dog park. So she's not a sweet, gentle wallflower of a dog by any means. She's kind of insane. And I'm putting things away as I'm kind of looking around, seeing if there's anything else I want to put on the page. And I have decided that, in fact, I'm going to call this done. This is the original one. I need some ink splashes, and I may do that off camera. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.